Welcome back to the Untouchaballs podcast. Caden and Leo here. Caden, how you doing today?
Doing pretty good, Max. How about yourself?
It's a fantastic Wednesday afternoon for our viewers. A week ago, we had some NBA games on Christmas, though, Caden.
That's very true. And so we gave our predictions for all those games. And if you follow social media, we gave our bets for some of those games too. And now we're just going to recap everything that happened on Christmas, from some of the great games to some more iffy games. Starting off, though, is probably the best game of the day. Was our first game of the day. It was the Spurs-Knicks game where Wemby and Mikal Bridges traded 40 pieces.
This game was phenomenal.
Wemby finished 42, 18, and 4. Mikal 41, 4 and 1. Just complete domination by both these players. Wemby also had 4 blocks. So if you follow the socials, I had Wemby over 3.5 blocks. That hit for us.
Easy.
And we both thought 9 was too high of a spread in this game.
High.
We thought the Spurs would be able to keep this close. They were winning this game for all the third, and they had a pretty good lead going in the fourth. Then it was the Mikal show, really, in that fourth quarter. He turned it on, put the Knicks really on his back, and was able to get him that dub and victory.
Caden, we talked before this game how valuable Wemby is to the sports team, how dangerous he is with the ball in his hands, and what he's able to do not only offensively but defensively. And he showcased that for you. He did exactly what we said he was going to do, lit up his expectations. Now, on the Knicks side, Mikal Bridges going ballistic in that fourth quarter, absolutely putting the team on his back. That was insane. That was an insane game. One you got to love for Christmas morning, and I think was easily the best Christmas game of the day.
Yep. Next game, which was good for you, but also a stinger for you.
Yes.
As the T-Wolves not only covered that 5-point spread, they won the game 105-99, but your Ant, 40-plus PRA, he finishes with 39. You lost
an assist, a rebound, a free throw. To have that not hit by one is traumatizing.
Yeah, that's brutal. But other than that, it was just a really good, mainly a defensive game for the Timberwolves here. Obviously, Luka did end up leaving that game early with the ankle sprain.
And that was the big reason why, I think the Mavericks weren't able to finish that one off.
Kyrie, especially in that fourth quarter, really was trying to help the comeback. He ended up putting up 39 in that game, which made it a lot closer, really, than the game was. They outscored them 31-15 in that fourth to only lose by 5 or 6. So the Mavs really, after that Luke injury, controlled this game from start to finish and were able to get a good and a much-needed victory for the team.
Yeah, Caden, like you said, this was one that I thought would lean a little more towards the Timberwolves' favor, just based off the initial spread and everything. But, Luka being hurt kind of throws everything to the side. So Timberwolves cover, not the way you want to see it happen. Hoping Luka's all right.
Our biggest surprise of the day, though, did come in this afternoon game between the Sixers and Celtics, where we both thought, the Sixers are a bad basketball team. The Celtics are a really good basketball team, especially at home. We're like, they should be able to cover this 10, get the win, get out. Not only, do the Sixers cover this, they win the game straight up in Boston on the backs of 33 and 12 out of Tyrese, 27 and 9 out of Embiid. So I had under 27 and a half. So that did hit. Embiid under 20. He was at 23 for a lot of the fourth quarter. Then he got a couple of free throws to get to 25, but the game was basically over. They fouled Embiid with about 10 seconds left. He made both to make it a 4-point game. And because of that, we hit our bet because he finished with 27. But then Caleb Martin, he also had 23 in that game.
Huge.
Just all-around great performance by the Sixers. Because even if it was a down game by Paul George, really, he only put up 12, didn't do too much there. And, the Celtics did well. Tatum had 32, 23 out of Brown, 23 out of Derek White. But the rest of their team just wasn't able to compensate for how well the rest of the Sixers team was playing in that game.
And that's a good point, Caden. This game came down to the bench play of both teams. The 76ers bench was able to keep them in the game longer, was able to consistently get points off and let them hang around into that fourth in order for them to take a lead. And like you said, credit to the 76ers defense for limiting those points and also being able to, hold on and not choke away a lead like we've seen them do so often.
Our first night game, though, was between the Lakers and Warriors. We thought the Warriors would cover the 4 because of how inconsistent the Lakers have really been this year. But it seems like since that game and these past couple ones that I've seen them play, they've been figuring out a little bit more. Especially, I want to highlight Austin Reeves. Because in this game, he had 26, 10, and 10, put up the triple-double. And just 2 nights ago, he had 26 points, 16 assists. So he's really dishing the rock well and scoring it well. But also, you're LeBron, 25-plus points. Hit that easily.
Oh, I was even close to
right
that.
Basically at the start of the third quarter.
Correct.
He got that. 31 out of him. And, I mean, Curry finally contributed on Christmas Day for once.
Game.
For what, after it being statistically his worst day on
ever
in his career. He put up 38. The rest of his team just didn't do anything. It was the Curry show against LeBron and company.
Yes.
LeBron's team actually helped him in this one while it was just Steph and Curry. That led to, that little 2-point victory for the Lakers. It's kind of indicative, like I said, what we've been seeing, where the Warriors are now only 15-14, one game above 500 after they were 10-2, one in the West just about a month and a half ago. And now the Lakers, they're 4 games over 500 now. They got the same record as the Nuggets, who we're going to talk about in a second. So they're coming up, and the Warriors are just on that really steady decline right now.
Speaking of coming up, I think we can't mention the Lakers without mentioning the trade that just happened last night.
Yep.
That's pretty big. I think this shows that the Lakers believe they can still be competitive, that they can still, make a push. And I think they understand that this may be the last time you have LeBron and AD together, potentially. Right? I think they understand that making that move, getting D'Angelo Russell off the team is going to be interesting. I'm interested to see your thoughts on how that shapes out for the Lakers team moving forward.
Yeah, so getting D'Angelo Russell off, which, the fans have never liked D'Lo on the Lakers.
He's had a tough time.
And he's a little up and down, a little streaky with them. Because obviously the Lakers are like the Nuggets in the same right, where they don't shoot a lot of threes and they don't make a lot of threes. So you had someone... And they're just the Lakers are just a bad jump shooting team.
Correct.
So you had D'Lo, who's trying to do stuff that's not really in his game. He's attempting over 5 threes a game, not shooting them particularly well. It's something that he just shouldn't really be doing.
That's not his game.
But now you bring in someone like Dorian Finney-Smith, who he is a good three-point shooter. He's on, even though it is a lowly Nets team, so he's still going to actually get these opportunities now on the Lakers. What's the easiest three-point shot in basketball? The corner three. And what does Dorian Finney-Smith do? He shoots over 43% from the corners. So he's exactly what you want. You're going to have him post up in that corner, have your LeBron, AD, Austin, whatever, find him in the corner, and now your three-point efficiency of balling can actually get up. And to only really give up, you give up D'Lo in only 3 seconds. You didn't even have to give up a first for it. It's good for the Lakers. And I'd say, it's still pretty good for the Nets. They could probably, I'd say, at some point maybe try to flip D'Lo, maybe, and get another first-round pick or something else from it. So seeing what they do with that could really help them more in the future too. And I think it's a good move now for the Lakers.
I 100% agree. I think both sides got something out of this trade, Caden. That was a trade that I think needed to be done. If you're the Lakers, they had to do something. And I think you didn't have to give up too much, which I think a lot of people were expecting them to do something big, something super splashy. You don't need to do that. You have LeBron, you have AD, you have Austin Reeves. Build around them, get them some shooters, help the defense out. This team can go a long way.
Our night game was between our Nuggets and the Suns, where defense was actually played in this game, where it didn't look like it was. After 72 points were scored in the first quarter, there was only 210 total points in the entire game.
Yes.
So, surprise! After that first quarter, which was 38-34 in favor of Phoenix, no team scored over 27 points in a quarter the rest of the game. Just to complete, the Nuggets at 34 in the first, 22. They lose this game to the Suns, where, you got, obviously, KD, he owns the Nuggets. He's, out of any opponent against the Nuggets in their history, he's averaged the most points against them. He put up 27. You expect that. Bradley Beal's still a scorer, and without Devin Booker, he's able to really go into that role more. He did his job. It's just the rest, the Nuggets as a whole. You had Porter with 22, Jokic with 25, Russ was 17. Then you had no one else. Murray had a bad game.
Again.
Brown did nothing. AG re-strained his calf. It'll now be out a couple more weeks. So that's horrible to see. Because it seems like since he's gone back to Nuggets, I've started to find a lot more fluidity within their offense, especially their bench unit's been better now too, because you can slide P-Watt down back to that bench. It's also helped bolster that bench defense.
Correct.
But now you have AG out again, and now they're trying it a little bit where they've slid Russ into the starting lineup a little bit in these games.
It's worked.
And it's interesting, yes. But hey, speaking of this game though, I did get my Porter over 2.5 threes in this game. What do you guys? So my Christmas bets went undefeated. Mex's was looking great
It was looking fantastic.
after the first quarter.
The first half, even. Like, even after the first half, you're
Yeah.
still above 50. You're like, all right.
Hey, it was 56,
Yeah. We're still on pace. You know, you double out maybe another 2 threes, and you're at the 118.
Exactly.
And offense completely fell off a cliff.
They
Jamal
actually played some
Murray.
defense.
Yeah, play defense, like you said, Caden.
Yeah.
We thought that was going to be the recipe to success, which limiting to 110, that was your number.
Yeah.
You said don't go over 110,
Mhm.
and we should be able to win this game.
You would think. Because then, they play defense these 2 games against the Suns. Like the Monday before when we were recording that episode, they won 120-90.
Yeah.
They gave up only 200 points in the 2-game sample against the Suns.
Which is fantastic.
And then that Friday against the Cavs, they gave up 149 and 23 threes. Obviously the Cavs are a good offensive team. The inconsistency with this defense is so just drastic and just bad. Because you get 149 out of the Cavs, which is their most in a regulation game in franchise history. And they just get that. And then the next night they ended up actually beating the Pistons. But you have 121 to the Pistons. Like we need some. Well, the offense is obviously putting up points. They put up 135 in that Cavs game, put up 134 in that Pistons game. They're scoring the rock.
Correct.
Can we just get a couple stops here and there, please? Like, that's really what I need to see.
You've been asking for this entire year.
I know.
Probably for the last 3 years, really. Other than the championship season was the 1 year we did have a consistent defense.
Yeah, that is true.
But that's the Achilles heel for the Nuggets. Until they figure it out, who knows?
Exactly. And because of the got a stupid second apron, they're not really going to be able to make any moves unless they trade Michael Porter Jr.
They better not trade Michael Porter
Which
Jr.
I agree. So I don't know how you do it. What you will need is some of those moves you see at the deadlines where some player, like who's not that great, gets traded to a team, then they just waive him so he can sign because they're just kind of like trying to salary dump.
Yeah.
So someone like remember last year when Kyle Lowry got waived and just signed with the Sixers. If we could get something like that with a pretty decent defender, just then he gets waived. We sign him for league minimum. Just put him get him in the bench unit. That could help a lot. But other than that, it seems like you'd have to try to trade Michael Porter Jr., which I just don't really think you should.
I agree.
Yeah, I just bad Nuggets.
Bad Nuggets. All right day for us with picks. You had a pretty good day.
I had a great day with the bets.
All right.
Good. Hey, you went 1 and 2.
1 and 2.
Because you got screwed by Anthony Edwards. But hey, you had a better day on the picks.
Yes, I did.
My picks were still solid, but yeah.
Of course. Bounce back from the week before.
And now, as fans say, this is when the NBA season really starts. Once Christmas Day hits, the season's here. So it's time to get going, especially for our Denver Nuggets.
And make sure you guys are following and subscribing and stay up to date on all your Untouchaballs news. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you all next time.